I'm sure from my dad I learned the value of hard work, and the importance of reading and taking in new information. Your grandfather did not like to read anything that wasn't true. He liked fact, and I can remember him. I don't know if he bought Grandma a book about grain marketing, but expected her to read, and she just looked at him like, not my bailiwick. But anyway, just the value of education, the value of working hard, the value of not spending money that you didn't have, and not spending money that you didn't need to by using old equipment, and just not doing lavish things. I know that we had a lot of friends who would go skiing every year and all these things. Even I remember looking at when I was young, the number of Christmas presents my friend got, and thought, well, there's 2 of them, there's 4 of us, so you get half if there's twice as many. But it's just the value of money, really, and he accumulated a lot over his lifetime by not spending it and by doing things. Grandma didn't even know when he started investing in the stock market, and that's, I'm sure she thought they didn't have any money, and it could be he was using borrowed money at that time to invest in the stock market, but was wise enough to see that there was other ways of making money besides just working hard at crops and sheep and all that stuff. That what he was doing then was something he enjoyed, but maybe not the best way to make money, so he started using money in other ways. From Grandma, again, it was hard work, volunteering. She was the Red Cross coordinator for years and years and years, so she would help with all the blood mobiles that came through town. I can remember going around, and they had a process then of asking, the things that were raised money, like March of Dimes and the Red Cross and some of these other things. They would just drive, one person would coordinate it, and they would drive to different farms, and I think that was just part of the way it was done. You would stop, and somebody would put a check in, and you'd sit down and have coffee. And so anyway, Grandma was always volunteering. She was always active at church. Whether she was church council president or chair of the search committee, or whether Dad was, Grandma did all the work because she had more time to do that. But again, we were part of the UCC church, which gave women full freedom of all of that stuff from the beginning. And so I remember feeling that she was always a leader in our church. She went to national conventions a couple of times, would always go to state conventions, and thoroughly enjoyed that type of using her talents in that way. And Grandma, too, was always a reader. Grandma loved sports, too, which was just the greatest gift, because that gave her and Grandpa something very much in common, and it gave our family kind of a bond. And I think, especially through Beth, just realizing how Grandma was one of the most non-judgmental, accepting people that I ever knew, and that's kind of how it was. There was never a derogatory word towards another person said in the house. There was certainly not because of color, race, sex, or sexual preference, or any of that. So it's one of those things you don't even really notice until you're in a different environment. But that was just another gift that they gave us. And it was interesting too. I remember one of the poignant times in your life is when your sister tells you that she's gay, and apparently she had told Mom before she told Dad, and I assume that was before she told the rest of us too. But Dad was mad that she hadn't told him at the same time she told Mom. She was very concerned about how he would react to that, but kudos to him. He was not be what anybody would choose for their child, because it just makes life harder. And I think you can still see that, but it didn't change the way he loved her or any of that. Anyway, it was kind of cool.